So we have a teaching by the fundamental Protestant prophets that Ezekiel chapter 38 and 39 is to take place before Jesus Christ returns. When you examine all of things that are written in those two chapters, it really should become plain to you that to put that in the context of a now, of a space age now before Christ returns, just doesn't fit. To put it in the context of after Jesus Christ has returned, when the world will have come close to annihilating itself, where nations are left in complete destitution of modern living that we're living in now, when nations become the survivors like cavemen and survivors of a world that has just about obliterated itself. When you put it in that context, and then a people that they find out about in Palestine is prospering and has all of these goodies and good things that they now don't have, you can easily see why they would then want to invade that land and indeed take those good things from that land that they've heard about that are there. In that context, Ezekiel 38 and 39 makes sense. It does not make sense in the context of a space age society. Why would Russia today want to attack a small, tiny country as the state of Israel is in Palestine, in the Holy Land? Why would they want to be bothered with such a small country and basically a small population? Why would they need to even think about attacking them? I mean, if it's not based upon just hating Jews and attacking them just for the sake of hating them, if it's not based upon that, then why would they want to invade the state of Israel? Well, just think about it. In a modern space age society, thinking that this might happen before the end of the age and before Jesus Christ returns. Let me give you, I just went on the internet. You can do it too. The state of Israel, the size, square kilometers, 22,145 square kilometers. Russia, the size of Russia, 17,125,192 square kilometers. If you want to think of Egypt, because Egypt and Iran is supposed to be with Russia when they're going to attack the state of Israel, Egypt is 1,010,408 square kilometers. Iran is 1,648,195 square kilometers. You just go on a world map and see how tiny the state of Israel is. How tiny it is. Farmland in Russia. I mean, do Russia desperately need the farmland in a tiny little country like the state of Israel? Farmland in Russia. 1.5 million square kilometers of farmland they have. Oil reserves in Russia. It's number 8. It's number 8 in the oil producing countries of the world. And approximately 80 billion barrels of oil Russia has. What about wheat growing? Does Russia need the wheat that might be able to be grown in the state of Israel? Well, wheat in Russia, It's one of the largest wheat suppliers in the world. In 2013, when grain exports, it was indeed over 14 billion tons. And since then, they have grown by almost 150%. 14 billion tons in 2013, and since then they've grown by 150% in wheat production. All right, Russia is the fifth of the world for forests. You want to talk about wood as an exporter or doing things with wood. It is the fifth of the world for forests. It has the largest forest country in the world. It has more forests, wood, in Russia than anywhere else in the world. 885 million hectares. 45% of the country is filled with wood, with forests. Do they need wood from Palestine or anywhere around Palestine? Do they need it that desperately so they have to invade this tiny country, the state of Israel, because they need wood? No, not at all. I just told you, 885 million hectares, 45% of their country is wood, is forest. Russia, what about their fishing? They are the 9th leading producers of fish. The 9th leading producers of fish. What about natural gas? Russia, 1,686 trillion cubic feet. It's the first. It's the largest reserves on the globe. Russia, for natural gas, 1,686 trillion cubic feet natural gas. Fruits that are grown in Russia. I mean, do they need the fruits that are grown in Israel, that they have to attack it with all of these allies that they're going to have as well? Fruits that are grown in Russia. Sweet strawberries. Sweet cherries, then strawberries, raspberries, apples, pears, plums, apricots, grapes, melons, watermelons, peaches. All of those fruits are grown in Russia. The things that Russia has, they do not need anything from the state of Israel. And to think then that this huge country with these allies such as Egypt and Iran and others that are going to be with them to attack the state of Israel in this space age society is really daft. It is really silly. And it just simply is not going to happen. The prophecies of Ezekiel 38 and 39 are for after the coming of Jesus Christ. And when you put it in that context, after the coming of Christ, when the world has just about blown itself apart, and then you have Jesus returning, the resurrection, David, the 12 apostles ruling over and gathering and ruling over the 12 tribes of Israel, blessing them, living under God's laws and commandments, and they're just going to have a beautiful society in every way possible, physically and spiritually. And then these remnant people in these countries that have just about blown themselves to bits are going to realize what is in Palestine, what they can obtain if they grab their bows and arrows and their clubs and they set out and to conquer then Israel in the Holy Land, because they want these physical things that Israel is now blessed with, because Jesus Christ is with them, and they're doing everything according to God's way of life. And so they have wonderful, wonderful blessings, physically wonderful blessings. Then you can see these nations around them that are now like cavemen, and gathering up whatever they can to go, literally to go marching down with their clubs and their bows and arrows and their spears. Then you can see that indeed in that setting Ezekiel 38 and 39 fits, and it does fit, because that is the way that it is going to happen.